Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. The Dharma talk today will be in the middle way. In Vietnamese we say con đường trung đạo. We say in Bali Majjhima Patipatha. It is the way leading to the ends of sufferings. The suffering here, we can understand that it is the uneasy of the body and the mind. In the world is, we can understand it in different meanings, like all kinds of sufferings. It doesn't matter that we mention about the suffering, because in the Theravada Buddhism or the elders Buddhism, the Buddha would teach us the sufferings in the priorities, because everything existing in this world is always come from the suffering. The middle way takes us to be right in views or understandings, right in thought, in speech, in actions, in livelihood, in efforts, in mindfulness, in concentration. Again, we can learn by heart, like right understanding, right thoughts, right speech, right action, right livelihood, like efforts, like mindfulness, and right concentration. To convenient for the practitioners, technical is the 8 pause paths. As I mentioned above, we group it into 3 groups for the practitioners. The first group we call a group of moral, consisting of right speech, right action, right livelihood. The second group of concentrations, consisting of right efforts, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And for the third group, consisting of right view or right understanding and right thought. We find is in the 4 noble truths. In Pali we call Chatura Arya Satya. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha mentions, the first one is the truth of suffering, and second, the truth of leadings, or the truth of the cause of suffering. And the third is the cause of cessations of suffering. It means that the cause leading to the end of the suffering. And for the fourth noble truth, it is our topic today. Everyone can go to study in deep in the life or in the prudence of the four noble truths. Here, I just talk around the middle ways. The middle ways, we can call it as the theoretical Buddhism, because only Buddhism take this theory to the world by the Buddha. You know, when the Buddha got enlightenment in this world, the Buddha only take two things that he proposed by himself. The first one is the suffering, and the second one is the ends of suffering. And the suffering is the result of the cause of suffering. And the end of suffering is the result of the cause of the end of suffering. It really means that the middle way is the cause, and the end of suffering is the result. Please take note like that. And in Buddhism, even we learn so much according to the Bali Canon. You know, we have at least 84,000 kantas. And if we summarize it into three short main points, that is, not to do the evil, to do the good things, and to purify our own mind. But that is, it's just the technique. It's just the way that the Buddha tried to take and use the explanations regarding to the people and the ultimate truth based on audience backgrounds and feelings. But those things, if we summarize it to just one way, it is the middle way. And you also heard that sometimes we don't call the middle way, we call in Bali Micchima Patipatha. Some we don't call Micchima Patipatha, we call the eight paths. Even have a word eight, but you know, it's just one. It's just one way. It doesn't mean that there are 8 ways like the memorial in front of the word pause. And some we call in Bali Attangika Makka. Makka is mean ways, and Attanga is mean 8. When we come to understand for the easiest practical, it doesn't mean that we have to start from the early one or the priority one like right view or right understand. Or it doesn't mean that we have to follow in orders from the number 1 right understanding to the end one right concentration. We can start from any, because this Dharma of the 8 paths is always supposed to its order. Even you start from the beginning one like understanding, that's okay. If you see that okay, it's hard for you, you can start from the right speak. You can start from train yourself to be speak in the right thing, the properly thing. Or you think that okay, your background and your feelings maybe can easily practice in the terms of mindfulness. Yes, you can do. Or even in your work require you conduct more concentration, you can practice concentration. My recommendation, please, you come to choose any group of the 3. For example, morality or concentrations or wisdom. Because of time limits, I just tell you that in the 3 groups mentioned last moment, the Buddha appreciates the 3rd group most, that is wisdom. Because wisdom is the highest goal of Buddhism. And a group of wisdom consists of right view or right understanding, and right thoughts. And here, I just go through the factors of right understanding. Right understanding, there are two factors. The first one is called in Bali Parito Kosa. And the second is Yoniso Manasikara. Parito Kosa in Pali means listening by ears consistently, or listening by ear distantly. Mean that the wisdom obtained by listening. Here I would you all try to be a plus listener, because nowadays, people lost their ability to listen to others. If we keep losing the ability to listen to others, it means that we lose the ways to get the wisdom. As the Buddha said, Soso sang lapate panyang, mean A plus listeners always gain wisdom. I think that is so clear, right? The second, Yoniso Manasikara, mean an analytical, critical, analyzing or analyze critical. Here is very, very important when you listen to others. Is when you take any training course, including where you're sitting in the university or college. Everything you read, everything you learn, everything you would come to the deep understanding of any particular topic. You have to use the ability to analyze critical. And Yoniso Manasikaras is also the part of wisdom. If we don't use the term of Yoniso Manasikara, I guarantee that we cannot find the real for the fact and the realities of the teachings of the Buddha. You know, when we take BA or MA degree, we just learn from the primary source. We just read, and then we come to add this, like the report, the information and data, and we just mention again what we have learned and we have seen based on those primary and secondary source. It's nothing new. But when we come to do any research in PhDs or before we get doctorate degree, we need to show in front of the people, we have to show to the people our new knowledge. And before we get the new knowledge on our particular topic, it requires we apply the yoniso manasikara. It's easy to say that we can apply yoniso manasikara term in Pali into our education, into our life, into our work, especially if we want to understand other people well. You should not use just our ears to listen to them, but you also require to use your brain or use your yoniso manasikara term. And come to conclude this, the middle ways hereby concludes right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right efforts, right mindfulness, right and right concentration. And the factors the factors of right understanding includes paritokhosa and yoniso manasikara. And paritokhosa and yoniso manasikara is the path of wisdom. In Pali we call panya. In Sanskrit we call pratya. So come to ends of this talk. I wish you all can get the wisdom. And only wisdom can help you to resolve all the problems. And only wisdom can help you to understand who are you and what you don't want and what you want. If you feel that you don't have wisdom enough to understand those, please follow the middle way, the way leading you to the end of all suffering. Wishing you all be free from all suffering. All the best. Your Dharma. See you next week.